Well, summer's here. 35 episodes in, and we're wrapping up. We're not leaving, so I know. But we're going to take a little break, believe it or not. And just like our kids are on vacation, we deserve it too. So we wanted to do something a little different. Not a greatest hits, not some clip episode to jump the shark yet. But I also didn't want to choose the clips that perform best because you told me that would be lazy. And I don't want you to judge me. So here's the kind of what we're not considered the loudest moments, but I thought maybe the most underrated, understated moments. Just like you, Matt.
These are the clips that helped us understand the show we were actually making. The deeper cuts, the moments that when you put them next to each other, they tell the story of what we learned.
Yeah, when we started chasing the game, I think we were more innocent than we realized. I thought that I knew everything. And we knew soccer was in the US was complicated, and we knew parents were confused because I was definitely confused. We knew the system had too many acronyms, things I didn't understand, too many leagues and too many promises. And look where we are today.
Yeah, we were still looking for something close to a map. And we were asking, what is the right league? What is the right badge? What's the right timing? What's the right pathway? What are parents supposed to do when every choice sounds urgent? And I think there's clarity in some cases, but in others, we're still very much seeking. And I don't think we're alone.
Yeah. So after heavy market research, Matt's team has decided to call this episode The Maze. And, the more we talk to people inside, the more we understood that the maze is not just me and Matt getting confused. It's for parents. It's about egos, fear, desire to put your kid in the right place, and the pressure not to miss the window, right?
Yeah, speaking of windows, and we should unpack this at some point, tryout season. I think we did our audience a disservice by not trying to cover tryout season. I feel like having gone through it recently, that maze is probably one of the most complicated ones, if not the most complicated, at least that I've experienced.
Leave it to you, Matt, to start our wrap-up show of everything we've achieved to remind everybody what we did not achieve. But that's okay. No problem.
Isn't that what keeps us up at night? I mean, that's what keeps me up at night. It's that one line that I missed, right? So in this case, we start with Sean McCafferty, Academy Director for the New York Red Bulls. Sean lives inside one of the clearest development environments in American soccer. But the clip we chose is not about the glamour of the badge. It's about fit. It's about playing time. It's about whether the place your child is in actually is helping them.
What's he being learning? Does he enjoy it? Is he getting better? Is he being challenged? I think that's so important when finding the right spot, whether it's us or NYCFC or depending where you live, even Philly Union come into the conversation. But they have choices and what's the best for them. And it might be what certain age group or it might be the way teams play. But the most important thing and the best advice I would give any parent is, again, do you know how hard it is to become a professional at anything? Yeah. Right? It's so difficult. So the likelihood is really unlikely. So just put them in the place where they're happy. They're the happiest. You talked about it earlier. Is it a 2-minute drive versus an hour-and-a-half drive? Yeah, probably go a 2-minute drive. It's a good situation or it's similar. And that's the reality of it. But as they get a little bit older and some of these players are looking at they might be professional, then sometimes the commitment or the drive might be worth it because that's a better environment and that's a better fit and gives their son a better chance. But it really is a case by case. I'm a parent. I'm there to support my son, and if he plays great. If he doesn't play great, that's normal. That's what's supposed to happen. And so, I don't know. It's just perspective, and sometimes I feel that they're maybe trying to live through their kids a little bit. And again, this is every team we've played against, and it's, you guys know this. It's every sideline in the country. Of course. Yeah, everybody's an expert, and some of them haven't kicked the ball, and it's like, oh, great, you're an expert now. It's a good time to pick it up. All done.
Wow, Matt, I don't know how many wows I'm going to say in this episode, so I'm going to curb that down. It seems obvious in the beginning, right? You just want your kid to be happy. Somewhere where they play, somewhere where they get the attention they need, but we don't always do it, right? Our decisions are sometimes challenged. We get blinded and just think how the kids feel about these badges.
Yeah, I was smiling listening to it. It's very altruistic, and I just don't know how real it is, candidly. Sure, are there thousands of parents who think and want their kids to be professionals? Yes. I don't think that's the majority of the way that parents are thinking about it. And even those parents still want their kids to be in what they deem to be, or what their kid deems to be, the best environment, whatever best is, right? Where they're truly developing as players, where they have a chance to be a great player at a great club and potentially playing college or whatever it may be. But I think a lot of this goes back to the commitment of time and the commitment of dollars, right? That goes to it. That if you're going to commit all of those things, then why would you want your kid to be in an environment where the level doesn't matter, right? Where they're just happy. What does happy look like? Don't we want our kids to be pushed? Don't we want our kids to push themselves? So I think that's where the friction is in the system.
So I can only speak for myself. Initially, especially when they're young, I think it's just difficult to be realistic, really, where your kid stands in the ladder or the pyramid. And I think that becomes much clearer when they're at U14 and 15. And now it's easy for us to look back and say that. But I think that's what he brings up. But you're right. Easier said than done, especially for parents who have so much skin in the game. The next clip is with Andrew May. Andrew worked at Chivas USA, LA Galaxy, Real Salt Lake, LAFC. I mean, French Football Federation, whatever, way more than I have ever done. He's seen kids go through serious environments, and that's what you and I were trying to focus on in that episode. He talked a little bit about timing and status and how it can distort a parent's vision.
Yeah, we chose this clip because it gets at the ego trap, not in a cruel way. Andrew knows parents care. Andrew's also a parent and has gone through different experiences with his 3 kids. But he also knows that caring can turn into chasing proof.
Yep. Here's Andrew.
You have to have patience, and timing is everything. And yes, albeit, you know what? They might need to make a move for their son, for their daughter at the right time. When is the right time? If it's just, hey, I want status and this is the badge. And I think as a parent, you should think that your child is the best thing ever and they can achieve anything. And so I think that that's the right mentality to have as a parent, but don't be clouded by your own ego. Let them enjoy it. If the player is showing a lot of interest in improving, so that means the player is going out, working on their own, getting a group of friends together, playing futsal, going and playing some organized thing. I really want a private trainer. That's a positive. The kid is showing interest. We don't even know what the player's level is at, but the fact that they're showing intrinsic motivation to improve, that's the positive right there. So then that tells me, okay, let me take a closer look as a parent at the club that my child is in. Is this the best scenario for my kid? i.e., are they the best player on the team? Are they killing it in every single game? Are they clearly the top in their area and now they need to be challenged and put into a different environment? But you have to do your research. Again, as a parent, you have to look at that stuff. And I will say that's probably the hardest thing to do, whether you know your child is actually getting better or developing, because you're going to have, of course, the rose-colored glasses. Maybe ask the coach. Oof. Get ready for the answer because they don't want to lose the best player. But essentially, you'll know and you'll feel like, yep, you know what? My son or daughter's growing out. They need this new challenge. But of course, again, as the egos go, we look for the badge. Just because they have a badge doesn't mean that they're doing X, Y, and Z correct.
Andrew was amazing. I think in this case, he's really separating ambition from status. Ambition asks, what does this player need? Status asks, what does this say about us?
I think I started making a turn in this part of the season. I'm talking all soccer related. Okay. I was trying to kind of think
that's a whole other
right.
series.
I was trying to kind of think of my kid. The more serious he gets, the more my identity within his journey started to separate. I don't know if that makes sense. So
that's profound.
I try.
But I think it's really true. I've struggled with this a ton. And I look back, aside from this hopefully being informative to the thousands and thousands and thousands of supporters that we have.
You missed 1,000, but yes.
It's been therapeutic in a lot of ways, but also just retrospective in the sense of like, there's so many mistakes I feel like I've made along the way. And there's parts and moments during the journey where you feel it. But when you think about it as a collective and how we're all involved, but me specifically, I think that's been a big part, like pushing when maybe the passion wasn't there the way I saw it, but I saw what could be. And I think you're right. I think I'm starting to get into the next phase of this where you are with Levi and where I'm getting with Miles, where it's, okay, this is what it's going to be, and he's going to drive it and own it. And we need to be okay with that.
Let's talk about profound. Wow. Your English is better than mine. It's altruistic, now profound. I'm overwhelmed. And the next clip is a clip that was very popular for us. This is with Ditmer de Jong, the scout and coach at Cambuur in Holland. He talks about this idea of self-regulation, a strange, non-flashy phrase. And I don't know, maybe it was just literal translation from another language. And it's hard to put like a pinpoint on why this was so powerful for me, but I think it's one of the most important ideas that we were able to introduce.
Because if the player never learns to look inward and ask, what do I need to do to improve? Then everyone else is managing the career, except the person playing the game.
We very much believe in self-regulation. That's where we very much heavily try to invest in kids, like teaching that. So if a kid comes into our academy, it's not really, oh, you have to work on your left foot. It's more like, okay, what do you think is very good to learn on?
My God.
What do you want to improve on? And that for us is very important. So if a kid comes into training, he usually already made a plan himself to where he wants to improve on. It could be like his left foot, could be his right foot, it could be his first touch, it could be finishing, it could be dribbling, it could be any of those skills that he has to improve on. And it's very much focused on the individual part. He can do that, for example, alone or with other players. And for example, he doesn't know where to improve on, or he has like questions, he could come to us as coaches, and then we can help him find a good solution for his, football problem.
They're kind of good at soccer, right? This is an idea of almost why this show exists, right? It is not a viral moment, but it is a viral moment for us. It's a correction. It's about development. You always say, what's the definition of development? Here you go. I just gave it to you. It's not just adults giving information to kids and telling them what to do. It's can a kid learn and develop on their own?
And it also complicates the Europe conversation because parents sometimes imagine Europe as a magic answer,
right?
As an end result. Put the kid in a better football culture and everything changes. If he's not a rocket, he becomes a rocket. And I think we know that that's not the case.
So speaking of Europe, let's keep traveling as many of you are now. Filippo Giovanoli. I love that guy. He helped us. The duels. They're going to win duels. It's like duels. And then all I do is try to win duels now and not to disappoint Filippo. I text him how many duels I win a week.
But that's like you and the barista.
That's right.
You and the bartender.
That's right. We've had many magical moments. Giovanni helped us challenge this idea of fantasy, right? He's been in development in many environments. And the reason I chose this clip is he doesn't go with the easy argument. He doesn't say Europe has talent, America does not, which is the cheapest, easiest, laziest way to speak about soccer.
Yeah, Filippo says the difference is not just talent. It is what the culture and environment demand from that talent every single day. And in fact, he makes the argument that the talent's very much there, if not even greater in a lot of cases.
Listen, I think it's the level of the competitions. I think is the history, is the culture, is how the people live football still in Europe compared to the US. Because the kind of talent, trust me, is not different. We can find better talents in the US. So, and we can find even clubs that they work really well and they are well direct in the US. So, and we can find a really bad club in Europe, like developed players in Italy. There are not like the decisions that the club they make to hire the right people that they have to be on top of the chain to develop players are not consistent at the moment in Italy. So I don't know if for me it's just because football is still an environment really competitive, really that create the challenge for the players that are higher probably in the US. In terms of environment to develop, I think US is coming because also they are hiring a lot of people from Europe, a lot from South America. So there is a mix of culture that are arriving in the US. It is going to take a little bit more time, probably, but it's coming. For me, it's coming.
The confidence that Filippo exudes makes me feel confident. He also helps us get away from lazy comparisons. The point is not that American kids cannot play. The point is that the development environment has to ask better questions more frequently.
As we pivot along, you can't talk about Maze without rankings, social media, lists, stats, highlights, exposure, who follows who reposts who. Man, I dread that. So this is our next guest.
Well, David Rodriguez from Footy Access understands that world. So do you, Lerman.
Right.
That is why this clip matters. He is not pretending visibility is meaningless. It can open doors, but he is warning parents not to confuse the door with the player or the opportunity.
Yeah, I guess ranking can matter, unfortunately for me. But we can't have the kid be defined by it.
I think the disconnect where sometimes they might use that as I'm better than this other player, right? Or I mean more because I'm ranked X on Footy Access, right? That's not where we position and why we do rankings, right? It's to help players that if you're on the list, you're able to then use that to help get recruited, right? That's the ultimate idea. If I would have been on the list like Footy Access when I was playing, I would probably send it out to every single coach, send screenshots to families, to parents, to friends. That's the ultimate difficulty, is how parents interpret that information, how players interpret that information. It's about, number one, acknowledging that you're featured, and whether that be in the rankings, whether it be on social media, but it doesn't define who you are as a player, right? It doesn't define whether you're on the list or not. It should just be something that could help you in the long term, or wherever you're trying to play, whether it be professionally or college or semi-pro, whatever it may be. It shouldn't define who you are as a player.
Before you give your words of wisdom, it's hard to not be obsessed with rankings when after every episode I refresh our host statistics to see how many people have listened to the episode. I mean, yeah, I guess you're right. Rankings are not fake, right? Maybe the echo around them is fake, but a ranking, I guess, means something. And this is what makes it powerful. It could open a door and it makes people notice. It's unavoidable.
But they are very subjective. And they can be a demoralizing way to measure a child, but they are a snapshot inside an ecosystem that rewards visibility. And they do not tell you whether the player is learning, adapting, solving, or growing. But I did walk away from this episode with David thinking he, who does have a platform, is very much doing this and looking at this through the right lens. And I don't necessarily think that's the case elsewhere. But his perspective, I thought, was game-changing in a lot of ways in how he framed it and how he thinks about it.
Yeah, the next clip we chose was from Jose Campos. So just like you have rankings that are about visibility, this guy is all about where do you stand within my system. And this is about level, competing to be the best, being in the right challenge, being ready for it, and not winning the wrong game, winning the right game.
Yeah, and we chose this because it gives parents a better question than where are we ranked? The better question, is this level telling the truth?
When you're the big fish in a small pond, the next thing is to be a big fish in a big pond. So you need to find a bigger pond. And you're never going to know how big the pond you can be until you actually switch ponds. Listen, that's life. That's how it is, but you got to try. You got to try. And if you don't try, you're never going to find out. When I was in college, I used to tell that to my players, listen, you were the best player in your club. You were the best player in your club. You were the best player. You were the guy in your club. Well, I have 20 the guys now. So that attitude of I'm the rock star, I'm the superstar that you come from because you were that guy in your club, here is over. Now I have all the best players here. Okay. My obsession was on recruiting, on getting the best. I got them all. You're welcome. Okay. Now we have the best team. Fight, compete, make the best man win. And that's life. So eventually you need to put yourself in that scenario and compete with the best. I hate mediocrity and I hate I just want to be the best guy in a very small pond. So find a bigger one. Find a bigger one. Give yourself a chance. And if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. But you give yourself the chance. Go and compete. Go and be there. You're never going to go pro if you don't challenge your kid. You're never going to go pro if you start competing day to day with the best. Sometimes you lose. And if you are that player in the academy that you only play 30%, get better. Train harder. Train more. And if you get released at the end of the season, go back to your club, be the best player, continue to develop, and then come back again and be the best. And if not, try again. And eventually, you may make it to pro, or you may make it to college, or you can make it anywhere. But you're going to be 35, 40 one day and look back and be like, I did my best. I tried my everything. I tried once, I failed. I tried twice, I failed. I tried 3 times, I failed. I wasn't good enough, but I tried.
That idea, the right level tells the truth, came up again and again. A soft environment can create false confidence. A brutal environment can crush the kid. The right environment gives us enough truth to grow. And just one anecdote on this episode specifically. I know for a fact that it became the driver of a kid moving an environment where he was the player at a high level, the captain of his club, the team rather, to move and push himself to go to the next level. Because I think that Jose said it best, right? If you don't push, if you don't see where you truly are, you don't know what is ultimately best and what you can become.
Well, it's hard to believe, but the first time in this couple seasons we've done, I have nothing to add.
Impossible.
Well, there it is. The next clip we picked was from Tom Bowen, the Long Island Soccer Club Academy Director, assistant coach at Hofstra, and about to be part of one of the biggest soccer projects in the New York area with the Island FC. He talked a little bit about parents misreading the truth at younger ages and misreading signals.
I'd hope that we'd look past just the pure physical attributes, which I think, again, it goes back to that win at all costs. Unfortunate. It's within youth soccer. It's at all levels, not just the MLS Next level. It's at every single level. You see it across Long Island where it's just win at all costs. Let's get the most physical players in and we'll get a goalkeeper that can launch it the length of the field, and we'll get the super fast, strong, early developer up top, and we'll whack it to him or her, and hopefully they can score 8 goals a game and everyone else can watch. Maybe you've got like you said, a stud number 9 that scores 6 goals a game for you and your team wins every single game 6-0 and that player scores all 6 and the parents are all happy, right? Because the team's winning. That's great. But then I always say, okay, what if that player then gets plucked, right? And that player's taken out of that team. How does the rest of the team then operate? Can it still function without that one player? So I think I'd like to think myself and the staff, we look past the purely physical attributes, especially at the younger ages. I think as you get older and older, the U17, U19 players that are thinking about college, the physical part of the game actually becomes very important. Not saying it's the most important or the only thing, but it does become more and more important. But in the younger ages in particular, I think we'd be foolish to look past a player because he's maybe a step slow or is not quite filled out his or her body quite yet. I think we'd be foolish to look past that. And I think the biobanding initiative from MLS Next is a really good idea if it's used correctly.
Yeah, early physical dominance, the U13 who looks unstoppable, or the U9 for that matter, who looks unstoppable. The team that wins because of size, speed, and maturity, or even being overcoached, it can look like development, but sometimes it is just biology getting there first.
The reason we put it in here is because it's about interpretation, right, Matt? We said earlier in the episode, interpreting the right club, the subjectivity of rankings, and now it's the subjectivity of a physical shape of a kid at a young age and what coaches do and why they choose what they choose. And as parents, it's hard for us to see the future because our kids are in the present, right? And their body is in the present.
But it is easy for us to look at the past.
Yeah, wow. Profound.
And see and see how ridiculous some of the decisions that we've made have been, knowing now what we know. So after all of that from Tom and the fit, the status, the ownership, the culture, the rankings, the level, the physical maturity, we still end with uncertainty, but we do our best to wade through it.
Look, you and I chose these clips because each one of them tells a little bit of a different story, but they're not opposite, right? That's what's mind-blowing. They support each other and they create a cohesive story and they force us to be just a little bit more honest. And like you said, looking back at decisions that we made.
Fit matters. Patience seems to matter most. In every single situation or environment, the player has to own the work. Rankings are limited. The right level truly matters. Early dominance fools us over and over and over again. And even then, the game will not give us complete control.
Yeah, and this again will help me not refresh those statistics of listeners for the week, and it'll make me less angry at everybody that I see in the street. Why are you not listening to Chasing the Game, Youth Soccer in America person? Look, next week we're gonna move away from the maze and we're gonna talk about money, the cost, time, sacrifice, access, and what are we doing? What are we even paying for?
I think we're paying for a lot.
We are, yeah. Paying for a lot.
We are paying for a lot.
Let's see what we get in return.
Well, it's a different story.
Yeah. All right, Matt. I'll see you next week.
Thank you, Laurent.